Hi everyone, welcome back to Small Engine Repair Tutorial. Today we have this Homelite multi-light blower and it's been on storage for years and it's not working. Today I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot this unit, find the problem and fix this unit. And I will get this unit working again. And let's get started. First, before working on a unit, it's best to clean the unit so you won't transfer all the dirt and dust into your tools, especially when you're working with rebuilding a carburetor. So let's clean this unit first. Now it's clean. So first is we need to check for compression and spark. So to check for compression, we need to remove this Carburetor's lid, remove the spark plug. So the spark plug still looks good. So now using a compression tester, that's quite good. It's pretty good. So we have 150 psi. The compression is normally from 90 to 150 psi. Below 90 it's difficult to start. So this machine it's likely to start. So next thing is I need to check for spark. So to check for spark, just plug the spark plug into that high voltage lead. You need to touch this one on the chassis. It's very difficult to touch on the chassis, so we need to place this metal bit and we watch for spark. So if you don't have the compression tester, the other way to test for compression is just pull the starter and feel for resistance on the pull starter when you pull it. So like this, it's very low resistance, so it's likely there's no compression. So obviously because I didn't place a spark plug, but most of the cases when it's low compression, it's very easy to pull. So once we pull the spark plug to feel for the compression. So now I place a spark plug and you can feel the compression. It's really hard. So there is a resistance and you can feel that the compression is really good. Now obviously the problem is the carburetor. So if you prime this one, that's without the fuel. Now when I prime the primer, you can hear that click. Do you hear that? That is because of the diaphragm is on the mid-ring is already hardened and stiff, and that's behind this assembly here. So that's obviously the engine won't run. So to remove the carburetor, first is we need to remove the fuel line. This fuel line is the return line, which is closer to the primer, and the one behind is the intake fuel line, which is connected to the fuel filter. So let's remove this one first, and also the intake fuel line. Now to remove the carburetor, we need to remove this choke lever. Using an M7 socket, remove the nut for the filter base. Let's remove the filter base. Using a deep socket M8, I need to undo this screw, this part here. It's a bolt. This is also part of the carburetor mounting on one side. Using a Torx T20, also undo that bolt on the bottom part. Take this one out and just remove that assembly, and now we can remove the carburetor. To replace the fuel line, just grab the top fuel line, because this is the return, and if it breaks, just pick up the line from inside. So you can break this one and pull from inside, and also with the remaining fuel line, if you can get the other end, or just use long nose plier to pull the remaining fuel line. So grab a new set of fuel line. So with the long one, just cut it slant, a little bit of oil. So insert this one on the lower part hole. So this is for the fuel intake. So grab the other end from inside, just pull a little bit, then cut straight, then install the new filter. Okay. So now, same thing, do the same thing, cut a slant, and insert this one on the upper part. Okay. Now we're going to rebuild this carburetor. So you can remove the old manifold gasket carefully. Or you can use a new manifold gasket. So using Lite, we'll clean this carburetor first. Now we have to open the metering side. So all the 4 screws. It's a metering plate cover, and this is the metering diaphragm. So this is where it's making a noise. See, that's very stiff. And also the metering gasket, it's best to replace the metering gasket as well. If you want to use the metering gasket, yes you can, but make sure that it won't leak through that the side of here when it's fully installed. And also we have to remove the metering lever and small parts. So just gradually release. Careful, because there's a spring underneath, and you have this metering lever, the pin, and the needle bulb, and also the metering spring. So you can leave the screw, or we just take the screw so we can clean that as well. So this side here is the fuel pump and the primer bulb. We have to take this one out. This primer bulb plate, retaining plate. That's the primer bulb, and still in good shape. And this is the primer base, and this is the carburetor body. So in the primer base, we have this fuel pump diaphragm. Well, the fuel pump diaphragm looks still in good shape, but the film is really stiff. So this is I think we also need to replace this one as well. So when replacing the rebuilding the carby, it's best to also replace the gasket as well. So if we replace the gasket while we're doing this, instead of just peeling it off straight away, and it's just to minimize extra cleaning of remaining gasket on the primer base. So we should have the mesh right here, so we also need to remove that mesh. Okay, now it's ready for cleaning, so we'll clean this one then. Just remove all the remaining gasket. Okay, that's all good. And also the primer base. Okay, we'll clean this one. Let's take the check valve for cleaning. We can quickly clean the, and also on this side here. So check valve. Okay, before I forget, also this adjusting screw. If you have this special Pac-Man tool, you can remove this adjusting screw, mixture screws for high and low, so we can clean the jet inside as well. So before you remove this screw, you have to turn this one clockwise all the way until stop. For the low, you have to count how many turns fully clockwise. 1, so roughly 2 turns. And also for the high, you have to do it as well. 1, just 1.5 turns. So we know when we put it back, we know how many turns we need to set it to reference. So we'll take this one out now. So that's the high. And this one's for the low. So I think they're both the same, and yeah, they're both the same, so we didn't to worry about which one's which. So we need to clean that So clean the jet. That main jet. And for the low, you will see that it goes into that tiny holes here, and it shouldn't come back to this check valve here. And nothing's coming back into the check valve. But if you apply in the check valve, you will see on the carburetor cleaner coming out this low jet, sorry, the low idle mixture screw. Okay, so carburetor is good. Dry. So look at my gloves with the carburetor cleaner. Don't apply air straight into this this hole here. It will damage the check valve there. Okay, using a T-strainer, we just place all the screws inside. So clean the wrist. Just place all this into the T-strainer. Okay, now it's ready for assembly. So for the rebuild kit, we have this rebuild kit here for Roixing. So we also have a complete rebuild kit available on our website. Okay, first is we need to assemble the, because the spring is quite low, you see, it would be really difficult to place the needle valve first. And if you're trying to hook that needle valve, maybe we're trying to hook that needle valve, place the spring here. We'll see if we can do it. Yeah, so make sure that that spring is sitting on the small dip there. So the screw, okay. So for this type of carburetor, to adjust the height of the metering lever, just use a plain or straight ruler and try to do like this, and it should touch a little bit, just there, just right there, it touches. So that's the right alignment. So the next part is we can install the mixer screw. Tight it all the way counterclockwise, full, no, it's full, and other ones well, full. Okay, now it's stopped. So to set the adjustment mixer screw, just rotate the high counterclockwise 1.5 turns. One and 1/2. For the low, for this type of carburetor, the Homelite, Lite, you need to adjust the load or set the load for 2 turns. So one, two. So this is our initial setting, and the factory initial setting to get the machine running. So then we can adjust that one later on for tuning. So to place the check bulb, we just put a little bit of oil in it. And just place it right there. And just twist. It's sitting flat, so that's okay. Now the next part is we have this rebuild kit. Okay, so to install the fuel pump gasket and diaphragm, first is we have to install the fuel pump gasket. Just place it right there. Then the fuel pump diaphragm. So hold this one and place the carburetor on top of the assembly. So we place the primer bulb, primer retaining plate, and the 2 screws. Okay. Now for the metering part. Okay, maybe you've seen some on the YouTube that using a different types of metering diaphragm and metering gasket, that's incorrect and that's wrong. And this is the right gasket for roixing for this particular carby. So this is the right gasket and the right metering diaphragm, square, and the style is a little bit square. Okay, this is the incorrect metering diaphragm and metering gasket. This is Zama. This carburetor is roixing. So it was placed like this, like that, and like that, and place the screw on top of it, and then it see that the crimping, the clamping of the diaphragm is different for the different carburetor, which it clamps on this side here, but this one it clamps on outside square. So get the right gasket and the right diaphragm. So install the, you have to install the gasket first, then the diaphragm with this one facing downwards. Then all the screws. So that's all. So it's ready to install into the engine. To install the carburetor, let's install the fuel line first. It's an intake fuel line and return fuel line. Then you replace assembly. This mounting stud. Then you have to place a gasket. We can still use the old gasket. We have a new gasket but for now I'll use the old gasket. So should go like this right there. Then install using a T20 Torx. And an M8 deep socket. Then the choke lever. Then we have this rotary choke. Okay, let's start this one. It's primed. Put it in choke. Okay, thanks for watching our video repair tutorial for today. I hope you find it useful and informative, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel right there and leave a comment if you have any questions. So I hope you keep watching our future video repair tutorial, and we will make more videos to come. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.